Welcome to Northsit TV. Kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell icon to get notifications for more videos.
Hello, as you all know, when you hear youth, you hear PA, and when you hear PA, you hear youth. I had an annual event where Initiative for Girls' Rights and Health Development are having their event they call Unleashing Youth PA. Today, they are here to tell the public, thousands of students are gathered here to learn about female genital mutilation. Zero tolerance to female genital mutilation. My name is Tife. Welcome.
The Executive Director and the founder of Initiative for Girls' Rights and Health Development for her speech. And there's the person of Ayodeji Bello. A round of applause for her, please. Ayodeji Bello for her speech.
So I'm the founder and director of Initiative for Girls' Health and Rights Development. And what we do is actually to campaign against harmful practices that affect women and girls in Nigeria. We believe that things can't change unless we replace them. If you have a bad habit, it actually can't change unless you swap it for another habit. So when we have things like female genital mutilation, breast ironing, we are hoping to swap it with comprehensive sexuality education. We are hoping that comprehensive sexuality education will be legal in Nigeria because social studies is actually not doing justice to sexual topics. Do you agree with me? Yes. So what we do here is to campaign against female genital mutilation, is to go to communities to sensitize people because we believe we need to crusade the right positive behavioral change. So what we are doing is to change people at a time. We are not NGOs that go into communities to build schools or to build borehole. We deal with people, we change human mindset through research, through sensitization, and all other activities through the media. We have appeared on more than 20 television stations in Nigeria to continue to amplify what we do.
All right, without wasting time at all, I'm going to be calling on my auntie from another mother. She's a very dynamic woman, the woman that dreams till it becomes reality. She's a leader, she's talented, she's noble, and she's the cultural ambassador to His Imperial Majesty Oni of Ife. She's the keynote speaker for this event. Please have your hands together as I bring to the podium Chief Mororoti Ashabi. Please jam your, I can hear you. Keep jamming. Appreciate her. You're welcome.
Inú mi dùn gidi gan láti wà nílé, láti jẹ́ ká jọ jíròrò, láti ṣe ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ tó ń jẹ gbogbo wa lọ́kàn, ìyẹn ìdábẹ́ fún obìnrin. Ìdábẹ́ fún obìnrin jẹ́ ohun tó burú púpọ̀. Tó dẹ̀ jẹ́ a gbọ́dọ̀ mú àwọn dúró wá lórí ẹ̀. It is indeed a pleasure to be here today to talk about this very sensitive topic, female gender mutilation, otherwise known as female circumcision. A traditional practice which is not just barbaric, but the related health hazards are so far-reaching that it is a huge concern to the World Health Organization, WHO. It is true that tradition and culture are important aspects of the society in molding views, behavioral patterns, and ensuring that people behave properly within the ambit of moral instructions. But let me tell you today, àwọn àṣà àti ìṣe kan wà tí a gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe kí ni? Mi gbọ́, tá a gbọ́dọ̀ dá dúró. Such is female gender mutilation. Such is breast ironing. Such is facial tribal markings. Do you agree with me? Yes. Thank you. According to the World Health Organization, female gender mutilation is defined as all procedures which involve partial or total removal of the external female genitalia and or injury to the female genital organs, whether for cultural or any other non-therapeutic reasons. In Nigeria, subjection of girls and women to obscure traditional practices is legendary. When you see something, you see it and then you can go and show it at home. Mommy, see what they're showing us. See the result of female genital mutilation. This girl is not able to walk anymore. She's not able to give birth. She's having VVF. She's having all kinds of infections. When you're talking about those things and you're showing them the images, it drives home stronger and it drives home better.
A few minutes ago, myself and my sister were talking about the fact that things are not changing as fast as it should, because we feel things should be left for women to do. I mean, when it comes to things that have to do with women, you know, when we talk about rights of women, when we talk about violence against women, people think it is the business of women to speak up for women. But there are a few of us that believe that men should speak up for women. Imagine a man says, I'm not going to marry a child. Imagine every man says, I'm not going to marry a child. It means child marriage is over. Like Olóyè said, imagine at the head of the home, you say, no female circumcision. It means it ends. Imagine our men in the hollow chambers. Imagine they pass laws. Imagine they pass bold, game-changing policies. Imagine our executive there. You know, imagine the president makes a declaration, a bold declaration. Like the Kano State governor did. I'm not his biggest fan, but he did something fantastic. He said, if you don't have a WAEC certificate, you cannot marry. Imagine it's like that across the country. Imagine if every man says, I am not going to beat a woman. Violence against women disappears. Imagine. Please, men, tell yourselves, I will do better. If our men can do better, if our men can indeed do better, a lot of these things we are talking about, a lot of these problems will be solved. And it starts from when we are young. Naturally, people believe that women should do everything. Growing up, we see our mothers come back from work, just like Nika talked about his wife. Our women are super women. Please clap for the women. Daddy goes to work, mommy goes to work, mommy will still be the one to cook. Mommy will still be the one to take care of children. I don't know if you get my point.
I want to hand over the mic for the keynote speech. So before I hand over the mic, I want everybody to be on their feet and start clapping already as I bring to the podium the royal mother of the day of this event, the Yellower of the source, Her Royal Majesty Queen Naomi Silekunola Ogunwusi.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for starting.
standing up for me. God bless you for the honor. You can have your seat. My speech, I don't think it will be a long one because I have been fed today. I am not fed up. I have just been fed. The keynote speaker was very, very wonderful with she has spoken extensively, and when I say extensively, I mean very extensively on this topic. The reason why we are all gathered here this afternoon, so that you are sensitized and you are well informed about what this thing is and what it is doing to us, our lives, and everything about us. It's about female genital mutilation. That's why we are here. I don't know if you know what it means to be mutilated. I don't know. Do you actually understand that very well in the real sense of it? Because for some of us it's a very, very big vocabulary. We've just been listening to everybody going on and on about FGM. We don't know what is mutilation. We don't even know what is genital, what is all that. So is there someone who can give me the meaning of mutilation? Thank you. No. Looks like it, but that's not it. It actually means to destroy, to damage, to disfigure. That's what it means. It is as bad as it sounds. When you hear mutilation, imagine horror. It is terrific. It is embarrassing. It is shameful. A lot of our women and girls cannot stand in the public, not in the public eye, cannot stand in the comfort of our bedroom and be naked before our husband, even when the scripture says the two of them shall be naked and they will not be ashamed. So the first thing that should come to your mind is that it has already disorganized the plan of heaven for us. Because you can no longer do what God would expect you to do. That's what should come to your mind. Look at that girl, look at that child, look at that lady that is being damaged, that is being destroyed. It's like somebody coming to you. Every part of our body is very, very important and so sensitive. And that is why I made sure that I did everything possible to get here this afternoon and be in your midst. Not because I have gone through it, but because I imagine it and I would not want anyone to go through the same. And by the side, I would say thank you to my mother for making sure after collecting the money that she didn't do that to me. So what I am saying in essence is that you need to understand. There's a lot of young girls and boys here. Some of us are too young to understand what they are even talking about. How does it affect me? How does it concern me? Some of us don't even know what they are saying. And how it should concern you. But it has to. Because sometimes the reason why our parents do this to us, there are many reasons, but one of the reasons is because they don't want you to grow up very quickly. Because they feel like if you have all the organs complete, you might sin. But excuse me, you don't cut the tongue of a child because the child must steal. Imagine if your parents, this is how you should imagine it, look at you and say, I don't want this child to steal. Let me cut off the tongue. It's just the same thing. In fact, it is more disgusting and worse. That's exactly the way these things are and how they feel to the human soul and spirit. It is a destruction of the soul. Because inside of you, you feel trapped. You hate the body you are living in. Another worst thing is we do not connect it together. But the ironing of the breast is so disgusting. It's just like saying, bring your hand so that you don't steal, let me cut it off. I know some people will say the Holy Book says if your eyes is the reason why you will commit sin, pluck it out. How many people have been able to do that? Will you pluck out your eyes because you think you'll be covetous? And so most of the time, we listen to everything upside down, inside out. We view life in a very, very terrible way. Our thinking, our mentality is so terrible. And some of us girls will not listen to these words because we think that they are trying to take away our pride. It is not pride to have been disfigured. The only pride you have is when you are complete as a woman. And the beauty of a woman is not in her face, but this is what makes you a woman. Men will say their manhood makes them men. Praise the Lord. So also you should know that this is what makes you a woman, because you will realize that men don't fall in love with the face. If they do, men will not sleep with other women outside when they have a pretty face at home. So am I talking to you? So I want you to understand the depth of this thing and how terrible it is. They've spoken so much about it, so I'm coming down to your level so that you understand. I don't know how to, go with all the, I don't know how to explain it, but I can't speak just like that and give you all the big details. But I want you to understand it in a way that as you live today, you live with a heavy heart. And know that you will not allow this happen to your friend. That you will speak to your mother. That you will speak to your grandmother in a way they will understand. Why will you do something that will kill me? You've heard about the damages that comes with it. How it's so difficult to have children. The same culture, the same kind of terrible traditions we have that will also tell you not to do CS when you want to give back. And you have blocked the opening, the natural opening God did, so that the baby can come out with ease. And then you should also know that it is violence. Some of us have been so brainwashed that we willingly walk into our grandmother and say, I am ready. Why don't you walk into them and say, I'm ready to cut off my ears? I'm ready to cut off my 2 legs. Because in that place is cut off so that you will not fall in love with guys early in life. Why don't they cut off your legs so that you will not walk to your boyfriend's house? And in Yoruba we say, Ori bibe, onkonyo, ori fifo. So your grandmother speaks to you in this tone every now and then. You cut off my head doesn't mean that the headache that is doing me will go. And so when you do this to me, it doesn't mean that I will not still sleep with a guy. I just might not enjoy it when the time is right. And so you have to find a way. When you understand this thing, don't say that, how does it affect me? How does it concern me? It concerns you. And if this has been done to you, you need to actually go for counseling with people like Ms. Bello, who is doing all of these things, and they are and they are standing up for girls, and they are doing all these things. There are lots of NGOs that you can talk to, counselors that you can speak to, so that it does not affect your self-esteem. Because another way this thing works is that it works on your self-esteem. You can't think straight anymore. So I want you to understand that God, in the first place, if your reason is religion, does not accept and will not support it. He will not create it so that you can destroy it. Circumcision to a man is not the same with that of a woman. And never a time was there a commandment that says circumcise a woman. The government of Nigeria is not in support. They may be silent about it. It doesn't mean that they have made a commandment that every girl has to be circumcised. You do not have to be. There is no medical moral benefit for circumcision for a female gender. No medical or any reason. Am I talking to you? It has no medical benefits. It's not supported in any way. It's an abuse of your right, an invasion of your privacy. It belongs to you. You own your body. In primary school, in some of the community primary schools, you sing songs like Orimi, Ejika, Eku, Ese, Orimi. All those parts of your body belongs to you. And so nobody has the right to go ahead and just cut it off for any reason. It doesn't mean it's right. And so I'm just laying emphasis on the fact that you should understand that this thing is so painful, that it is irritating, and it is almost like making a person an handicap, just that that part is covered. Because the real purpose, the real reason why it's here is no longer functioning. Why do you have a mouth that has no tongue in it? Why do you have a mouth that has no teeth in it? So how do you eat food? Then you have to swallow. Imagine you don't have teeth in the whole of your mouth. Have you seen your grandmother who is so old and doesn't have teeth anymore? So their face is disfigured. That's the way that place looks like. They don't have images yet today. That's the way it looks like when a part of it is cut off. If a part of your leg is damaged or injured, you begin to leap. And so all of the parts, organs, reproductive organs of a woman, if any of it is in any way affected, it works on the brain. And so I do not have words to say. Everything has been said. I am not a teacher. I'm only speaking as one who is one of you, who is amongst you, and can feel the pain of every girl child and every woman in Africa and beyond, that you will go back home, ask questions, because one of your rights as children under your parents is the ability to ask questions, to be inquisitive. Ask them. Some of them don't even know why they are doing this to you. That's the worst part of it. The moment you ask a person a question they cannot answer, you have won the battle. So go ahead and ask questions. Why? And once they start to say, and they are stuttering, you know that you have won. Because you leave that person with a burden of guilt. And when they cannot defend it, they stop it automatically. I want to appreciate Ms. Bello, Ayodeji, for putting together a program like this to bring early sensitization and not looking at these ones as though they are too young to have a knowledge of what we are talking about. Some other people would rather stand in front of doctors, engineers, and nurses and red-maids people, but you are standing before these ones that will grow to become all these things, all these personalities that we are looking up to. It is highly commendable. It is indeed a selfless, voluntary service, not to make money, but to make an impact. God bless you as I continue to support you. Thank you once again. Thank you.
All right. Like 3 people had the same question, so I will ask the question at the same time. What's the meaning of breast ironing?
Breast ironing is when a young girl is boarding. When I say boarding, I mean B-U-D-D-I-N-G. She's boarding. She started growing her breast. And in order to suppress her sexuality, in order not to make her feel the full bloom of a woman, in such societies, they use metal, they use wooden spatulas a man lo back up, one fist no, go back, go look at one man tell you, so that she would not be in full bloom, so that her breast would not stand, and she won't feel good like a woman. Because what the essence of it is to suppress your sexuality, suppress your womanhood. Indeed, just note, it is violence, it is mental retrogression. Please note that. Igbako, earring, all kinds of things the woman know, because they don't want you to feel good about your body. That's what it is.
Okay, so there's a question here. Is it good for a lady of 20 years to fall in love with a man of 89? Hello? So, apparently the person who asked this question may be someone who is directly affected or indirectly affected. But whichever way it goes, it is not good. And obviously, you could not have fallen in love with your grandfather, your great-grandfather. So it is not good, because look at it this way. You are 20, or that person is 20 and he's 89. It's very close to the Lord in heaven. So you might be carrying your first child, or you may not even be able to carry your child because he's weak. You know, there's a story of a king, David, who at a very old age like this, a virgin was brought to him, and the Bible says that he was just looking because he got no heat. He couldn't do nothing. So you cannot fall in love with somebody that cannot do nothing. So, aside that, what you should do, if you find yourself falling in love, it might be that you are in love with the man's ability to take care of you financially. I will talk about financial independence. Find a way. At 20, you are matured enough to sell whatever is sellable, to find a skill for yourself, to learn a skill, tailoring, so many things you can learn. You might even be in school right now. Do anything you can to make sure that you get yourself free from this mental abuse. Thank you.
I'm having funny questions here. There's this question here that says, what is the importance of sex for teenagers?
There's another question, that says, can a girl of 40 years old give birth to a baby?
A girl of 14 can actually get pregnant. But the problem there is the girl matured enough, biologically matured enough and mentally matured enough to carry this pregnancy to term, and how about delivering the baby and taking care of the baby? Because at 14, I will still want to cry on my mother's neck. I still do. So I can't imagine myself at 14. I could not have imagined it. Hearing the cry of a baby at night, throwing up because of fever, malaria alone is a hell of a headache. So why would you want to go through that stress at 14? At 14, you should be maturing. It's just like plucking a mango when it's yet unripe. How will it taste? That's exactly how pregnancy will taste for a 14-year-old. It's acidic, it is not good. And another one. There's another one here. Can a woman stand without a man on her? In this world that we are in, can a woman stand without a man? At what age? Are you talking about standing without a man at an age when you should not be considering having that kind of relationship with a man? Because there is time and seasons for everything under the sun. It is not going to be correct at an age when you should be facing your studies, when you should be getting yourself equipped for the future, to be having a man in your life. You understand what I am talking about? There are different ways to have men in your life. Your brother is a man in your life. your father is a man in your life. They are very okay for teenagers. They are very okay if you are not matured enough to be with another man from another daddy and mommy. Because it means that his character is different from yours and his line of thinking is very different from yours. So will you be able to cope at this age? And with everything that comes with having a man in your life, having a man in your life at a certain age means you will have babies in your life too. It's automatic. And you may be asking from the perspective of those who go and the reverend sisters. Nuns. You might be talking about the religious aspect of it. I am not a nun. And so I don't understand how it is convenient, except that it might be a spiritual stuff, to stand without a man for the rest of your life when the Holy Book says it is not good for the man to be alone. And when the woman was alone, the serpent came. So it is not good to be alone for the rest of your life. It is not going to make you feel any better than your girlfriend who has a boyfriend, who has her own husband. It's not going to make you feel superior or any special. It might be a personal conviction and a dedication to stand alone. If you are truly convinced that you'll be able to do it, that you will not wear the veil and be doing it under the cupboard and bury the children in the walls. Don't do it. But if you are convinced that you can, then it is possible. But I cannot 100% give you an assurance that it is logically possible for a woman to be with that man for the rest of her life. Thank you.
What's today's program about?
Okay, today's program is actually to commemorate the United Nations Zero Tolerance Day for female genital mutilation. It is a day for everyone, every leader, every stakeholder to look back and ask, what exactly are we doing right? What exactly are we doing wrong? When are we going to end harmful practices? So for someone like me, it's a way to actually introspect. Am I doing well for this calling or this project I'm working on? What do I do next? And so this conference or this project is more like the beginning. I don't see it as an end. So it's like a call to action. Okay, what are we doing next to ensure that every unfavorable practices affecting the sexual and reproductive health and rights of women and girls are truly eliminated?
You see, I'm very honored to be part of this program today because FGM and all other forms of violence against women is something that must stop. You know, because apart from the physical trauma that the women and children go through, it's also psychological. And for some people, they get AIDS, they get help, and they get over it. But for some others, they do not.
I learned that female genital mutilation should be abolished in our country, in our community.
Okay, to everyone watching, female genital mutilation is wrong. It has no medical or health benefit. I also want to thank Her Imperial Majesty for being a zero tolerance ambassador for harmful practices. We are delighted. We are glad to have her. We are happy that she's giving us a shoulder to climb on. And I believe that very soon, Osun State will actually reduce the practice and the world will be better for women and girls.